to Toffee TV. There's the final words. Manchester United 1, Everton 1. It's weird, Baz. We sit here only a couple of days after doing another final word, and it's tinged with the same kind of disappointment, but for very different reasons this time.
I'm not bad today.
I'm more disappointed than I was after Saturday. I think.
I don't know. I think for me, because we got more of a performance, I think that's what I was looking for. I'd love the result, and I said message you before saying I fancied. I thought we'd win. I really did. So yeah, given how late it was, it's frustrating, but I felt as though the performance was better. I thought Saturday there was nothing, no bottle, there was nothing really, and we just didn't play our game at all. Where I felt as though for large periods last night at Old Trafford, I felt as though the players put everything in. So I sit here and think, yeah, disappointing, but it was a much improved performance, and that gave me a bit of a...
I mean, he went with the team that we named, swapping Morales and obviously for Calvert-Lewin, and he brought obviously Gareth Barry in for Pennington, and went back to forward at the back, and that seemed to
got us further
much nicer shape, got us up the pitch. It really should have been the team that started at Anfield for me. Maybe not
Gareth Barry. Maybe not. Can't say that because people watch the league.
Maybe not Gareth Barry, but definitely Morales. You know, it's that mentality thing. I know some people don't want to hear it, but again, last night it was almost like, well, there's nothing to worry about tonight in terms of we're not facing a supremely good side. Their record wasn't great. They were coming off the back of a 0-0 against West Brom, and it was almost the idea of, if we can keep it tight and nick a goal, then who knows? You know what I mean? They don't. They're a weird side, United, people, because even though they've got players like Martial and Rashford, they don't really seem to hurt you with pace. It's weird. Do you know what I mean? They don't have, like, we go from Saturday where Liverpool have got movement and runners, and I think this is, I suppose maybe that's a shows you in football. It's not actually all about pace. It's all about movement, good movement, and if you've got movement with pace, then it's dynamite. But they've got pace, but they didn't seem to use it in the same way. They have that focal player as Zlatan, and they try to get him in as often as they can. And I suppose for a lot of the game, it was just about either stopping the supply to Zlatan, or listen, he's 35. His movements, a lot of his movements in his head rather than in his feet, and it was just about getting there first and dealing with that. For large portions of the game, I thought we dealt with it really, really well.
Yeah, we went out, like you say, the shape was much better. I thought we worked harder, but I thought our shape, as we were defending around the pitch, was better. You could see it looked as though they'd worked on it, and it was stopping the supply to him, because he was the chief threat. You know, he's still fantastic whether he's 35 or not. His hold-up play's incredible, his strength's incredible. So we nullified them really. I mean, he had a chance early on, which was a slip. You know, Jags, I think it was, that slipped. Holgate tried to slide it, and clear it, and didn't. But it was a great recovery by Ashley Williams, and after that, they kind of lost the head of steam, and Everton grew in. I thought we grew into the game, and we started to control the pace of the game.
Because I thought early on, I thought we were guilty of the passing was like short.
Sloppy,
It was sloppy. It was short in good areas, but when I say good areas, when they nicked it away, they almost got them on the counter attack, and that I was a little bit worried about that, about being a little bit over exuberant and maybe them catching us out. But we sort of got away with that. We rode a little. It wasn't a storm, but as you said, there was like Zlatan getting through, and we dealt with that. And as you say, we started to play our way into the game and become. I think what we started to do was we started to be just a little bit of threat, just put that doubt in their mind that they couldn't throw everyone forward like they might normally, or we might have done in the past. I mean, how many times have we gone to Old Trafford and you just sit there and it's just wave after wave? Even games where we've took I remember that year when Franny Jeffers scored, was it, early on, and then I think we ended up getting
5-1.
and it was just wave after wave after, because we just, like, we've got the lead now, we've got to hold on to it. But I thought at 0-0 last night we after about 15 minutes, we started getting a little bit of running the ball, and Lukaku was starting to get the ball in decent areas, and the movement off him was good, and I think they were just really worried because their defence wasn't. I mean, it's patchwork, and I don't think Bailey looks anywhere near fit to me. He didn't look like he had early on this season when he was free moving and stuff. He looks like a lad who's had a long season and has had injuries and stuff, and I just think we worried them, and the more we worried them, the more they were reluctant to go forward with men. And you know, we started to make little things, little half chances, things that didn't drop, players not passing in the right places. You know, we get a corner, and again we've proved what we proved at the weekend, that set piece goals actually do count in football. Apparently
they do,
and to be fair, it's Williams again with the flick on, something they've worked on obviously, and Jagielka with a stunning little round the corner touch gives us the lead, and at the point you'd have to say, well, at the time it went in, you have to say, well, we deserved that for our endeavours, for being a little bit braver, for going out there and not just sort of sitting back against Man United.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a good move that led to the corner as well. Gareth Barry, Kevin Morales makes a run, Barry finds him with a lovely ball, takes it on his chest, even though they were claiming for handball.
Yeah.
That it's a gets a good shot away. De Gea has to make the save at the near post, and then on Saturday, where it was Jags getting the near post flick and Pennington scoring, this time it was Williams, you know, and alright, it went up in the air, but he showed good strength there, Jagielka, and good improvisation to flick it in, and we won the lot. Gareth Barry celebrate. Well, it wasn't a celebration. He went in. He kind of looked at them as if like, yeah, we always score here, and just like jogged away like not us. But I suppose he has won 6-1 there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, and we were good. We must have been good value for the league because Glenn Hoddle and Robbie Savage said we were good value, and they never give us any credit. So,
and they're never wrong.
And no, they're never wrong either. Yeah. And at that stage, I thought we were on top. We were. Okay, we mightn't have been raining shots in at their goal, but we were controlling the pace of the game, you know, and they had to chase it a little bit. But you know, we I suppose if you're going to criticise anything, was we didn't make the most of our attacks on the counter. I thought
certainly second that.
Not in the first half. We had twice. We had one where Lukaku takes it and Morales is on his own. He's on, and it's on Rom's left foot, and there's no excuse to not pass to him.
Yeah.
And he takes it on and has a shot. And if he just rolls it, Morales is fuming at him because he's taking it that way and he's looking, and he can see Morales on his own. Just lay the right ball, and that's that's the difference when people talk about Lukaku or top players. The very top play the right pass most of the time. I remember Rooney and people, whether they like Rooney or not, the one thing he had it at 16. He'd always play the right pass. Yeah. He'd always play it. And if Ron would have just rolled that one in, Kevin, because they were running this way, and Kevin Morales would have been in. I'm not saying he'd have scored, but he'd have been running in on goal. And it was just those.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of them. BT Sport actually showed something about that before the game. You were highlighting Lukaku because obviously his performance at the weekend, and I suppose they are right to shine the light. I'd rather they shine the light on Romelu Lukaku than Ross Barkley, because Ross Barkley's not talking himself up and saying he's this or he's that, or he wants to play Champions League. He's just trying to get his head down and play from the looks of it, whereas Rom deserves the spotlight because of the things he's been saying. And they showed one at the weekend, and it was the one where it was in the second half at Anfield where the ball comes up, somebody ties through that little back heel, and he had Ross
just next to
him, where he could have a simple layoff, but he's almost trying to do too much. And it was the same there, and I've said that I don't mind having selfish strikers, but you're right, it's knowing, you know, as I say, maybe 7 out of 10 times be selfish. For those 1 or 2 times, or three times, that's up to 10, find the pass, and that will get you the plaudits. That people will turn around and go, do you know what, he is down. And I think that's why people say Kane's better than Lukaku, because Kane seems to have that little bit of nous. And maybe that's, I don't know, but I would say, what I would say in Romelu Lukaku's defence is that maybe at this time at Everton, those passes haven't been on, so therefore he's had to get that selfish streak.
I think as a centre forward, you are selfish. You know, when you play whatever level you play at, you know, I was selfish as a striker, you know, whatever, because you want to get goals, but there was one where he gets the ball wide and he cuts in and he has a shot and it goes wide. No problem with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him have finished with a shot, an end product, rather than what we done second half, which was we didn't shoot and we waited, the chance went. But there's having that selfish streak in you to go on to try and score, and there's no one when to play the right pass. And I think sometimes it's lay the ball off and get back in the middle.
Well, is that, as like I've just said there, do you think that comes down to the fact that for a lot of his time at Everton, though he has been...
I disagree with it.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, could that be an argument where for so long he is, because he is the main man, and because he's
isolated.
He's isolated a lot, and he has to go on those runs a lot of the time, that he feels like he's got the confidence that, because most times...
But at that stage we're winning 1-0, and if he plays the right ball to Morales, that could be 2-0.
Yeah.
It's a big moment. If we're 4-0 up, I've got no issue with him, because he wants to get a goal himself. Wouldn't have a problem.
What did you make of the one in the second half with Ross Barkley, where he got it round on the right and he goes round the corner and he runs into the box? Because a lot of people have been scheming on for that one.
Is this Rom or Ross? Sorry.
Rom. Because...
Or when he faces Rocco up and leaves him for dead.
Because I know a lot of people have criticised him for that one, but I actually think that was Ross. Should have done more for that, because Ross stands on the edge of the box and doesn't make any...
At the time, I had to go with him when he was running through. I wanted him to shoot, but then he hesitated. And when he hesitated, then he shot. Didn't look like conviction. I was thinking, could he have got it to Barkley? When I seen it again, no, he couldn't, because Ross should have been busting it up to get in. He wasn't. He held back. Now I don't know whether he thought he's not going to give it me. There's no point. But he shouldn't. You never think that, because if Rom has a shot and De Gea parries it, why wouldn't you want to run in and have a tap in at Old Trafford?
That's what I couldn't get about that.
And when you look at it again, he couldn't have got it to Ross.
Yeah.
Because by the time he's faced Rocco up and he's running with him, the last touch is a bit heavy, and then the opportunity.
Because even with that, if Ross breaks it, his neck to get in the box, he takes the eye of the defender away, and so I thought we could have helped them out there. But
there was a couple though. And I'm sure we'll come on to it, but there was another one in the second half when Calvert-Lewin was on, and we break, and Calvert-Lewin, Rom's got it, Calvert-Lewin gives him it, and he's running, and it's on the left hand side, and he can face Bailey up, I think, and he doesn't. He tried to turn back and do a step up, and he just lost the ball, and then he went and threw his arms up, and you're like, we're winning 1-0. There was about 5 or 6 minutes left. Just drive. Just because you can't get a shot and a goal, drive to the corner and get a corner. Play it off them by the goal. That got them back in was spawn. I mean, let's be honest, it was spawny, because it was just a hopeful punt into the box, which we won the first header. It went up in the air. We won the second header, but Jags heads it, but he heads it into the middle of the box.
No, he doesn't header, does he? He flits a foot round the corner
into the thing.
Because obviously what they were trying to do at that point, they were almost trying to get Zlatan. Was Fellaini still on?
Fellaini was there.
Yeah, they were trying to get it so that obviously the big lads, and we know how Fellaini is good at it. It comes down to the chest, so it keeps it alive.
Yeah.
And they've done that a couple of times where they were trying to spin on it, but we outnumbered them. And Jags had no other option but forced to Luke Shaw. He isn't even a good shot, but it looks like it's going in the corner. It's going in that general direction. But the real problem for me, what people are very critical of Williams for what he did, and the most annoying thing for me is that he's out the next game more than anything.
Yeah.
But he's actually blocking Joel, and that's the most annoying thing, is that Joel can't see. Joel can't see where that ball is because Williams is in his way.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that comes into Williams' mind when he does what he does, or whether it's just that it's the 94th minute, he's out on his feet, he's got to make a decision. If he lets it go and he goes in, people are going to call him all kinds. If he makes the decision, he handballs it, they get a penalty, and he misses it, he's the hero. He has to make that decision instantly. Listen, my last ever game of football, I got sent off in a cup final for knocking one off the line. You know what I mean? I've done it. I've been here.
They scored the pen.
They scored the pen. we won gone and won the game. I mean, a lot of people would have said, why didn't you just let it go in? But my mind in that second was, this is going in. I've got to do something about this. You don't even get time to think. You just do it. Now, obviously, he's a professional footballer. He should know better than me. But he's done it, and they've put the ball away. They've got the perfect man on the pitch. But Zlatan missed his last one.
No, but did you expect him to miss that?
I didn't expect him, but what I'm saying is though, if he had missed it or whatever, the ground had gone from under his feet. I know it's not Southampton's ground, but
no, well, that was why he's done. Listen, if you look at him as well, he doesn't put his hand out. He goes like that, and it was unlucky. It could have hit him on the top of the bunch and gone away, and it didn't. It caught him on the hand. But you knew that referee couldn't wait to get. You know, if he was going to have an opportunity to, he was giving him something. But it was the right decision. It was a penalty. I just think the sending off bollocks. I think it's ridiculous. It's a double punishment. A yellow card, yeah.
Well, he's not supposed to have triple punishments anymore.
If you're a keeper and you take him down, you don't get sent off. You're not supposed, a yellow card.
I don't know what the rules are exactly, but this triple rule was supposed to be knocked on the head, where it's a penalty, sending off, and a suspension. You're getting punished 3 times for one offence.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It should have been a yellow card and a penalty to Manchester United. That's what it should have been, and it wasn't. It ended up being a red card, which is bizarre. And it was a penalty.
But even if you've just been sent off and you don't get suspended, you're getting punished 3 times for one offence.
It's just ridiculous. But it was it was Zlatan. That's who they want. They would have wanted on that ball in the last kick of the game, wouldn't he? And he's stuck it in well. And it's a draw. We've snatched a draw from the jaws of victory.
Well, as I say, my biggest bugbear about the game is that it wasn't that we didn't see it out. It's that we didn't score again. It's that we had good opportunities to score and we didn't take them. We had opportunities to run at their centre backs when they were throwing men forward, and we wasted them. And that's what was the most annoying thing for me, that we wasted every opportunity. But I mean, I mentioned Ross. His performance has come under again criticism. What a surprise! Well, lots of people. Yeah. I mean, generally, what did you think of his performance?
He was very good. I thought his passion was fantastic last night at times. I thought he showed good energy. He was disciplined. I thought he tired as it went on. I thought he had a good game. He'll have better, but he's had worse. I thought it was a good performance from him.
I think there was times that people. There's times when you make the wrong decision, but that happens.
Listen, people going up Romelu Lukaku. I'd say Romelu Lukaku makes the wrong decision 8 times out of 10 on a pass because he wants to do it himself. That's, other people. Tom Davies makes the wrong. Gareth Barry they all make wrong decisions. That's the way it is. Ross Barkley is on the ball more than anybody else, so it's highlighted more than anybody else. People have got to get away from the fact that if he doesn't beat 15 men and put it in the top corner, he hasn't had a good game, because it's just ridiculous now. It's always an issue when we don't win. It's always an issue, and people, I see the same thing all the time, and I'm not turning it into Ron v Ross, because they're both very good players that play for Everton, and I want them to be playing for Everton next season. But one can't be bulletproof, and the other one is the scapegoat, and that to me is what I'm on my timeline anyway on Twitter. That's what I'm seeing. I
don't think Ron's bulletproof, because you were here before when I was doing the comments, and most of them were
said on my timeline.
No, but I'm saying, but most of them were actually about Ron, weren't they? I mean,
well, a lot of the time he's above criticism because he scored 21 goals, right? Which is fantastic. By the way, I hope he scores 41. I'm never ever advocating selling him unless he demands to go and he's a fucking nightmare in the dressing room and he's causing issues, right? Go on. But I just think with Ross Barkley, people have get off his back. He played well last night.
Leon Osman.
I mean, that made me day, to be fair. Leon Osman telling Ross Barkley how to play football is the funniest thing. It's like Dennis Strachwell trying to tell Rom how to play football.
Buying Leiberbird is funnier.
That is funnier, yeah. That was funny.
I mean, but you just mentioned there about things starting to affect Romelu Lukaku. Did we see some of that last night, or is it just being blown out of proportion? Because I don't even know when that happened. Because some people were saying it was. Some people in the media were saying it happened after the penalty.
It didn't, because Ashley Williams just sent off.
So walked straight. It happened 15.
It happened with about 10 minutes to go. It was when we'd run.
So there you go. It's spun already.
We'd run a couple. We'd survived a couple of things. It was because we cleared the ball twice and he gave it away twice and didn't chase it. His arms went up like not my job. And that's why Williams is having a go at him, because it is his job. Yeah. He can't be. The impression I get from Rom, I don't know him. The impression I get from him is he's one of those players that you just want, if he's not getting chances, he just loses interest. He gets a cop on because he's not getting the chance, and it's about him. And some games, it should be about him. They should be trying to make sure, but there's certain games where you've just got to go, you know what, forget me now, because we're under pressure. And if he's running around like a dickhead up front, no one can have a go with him. But you can't, when your defenders are defending the way they were, I can understand. You play football, it doesn't matter whether you're playing a Premier League, an international, or you're playing a Sunday league. There'll have been games where you've had players bollock you, or you've bollocked other players and had a go.
Yeah, every game.
Exactly, because you both want to win. What would you can't go. And I've seen this argument, someone put on in the thing, Williams got no right the way he's playing to have a go with Romelu Lukaku. What does that mean? What friggin' difference does that make? And Williams was brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
What difference does that make? He's in a team and one of your teammates isn't putting the shift in. They players, they know who's running for them and who isn't.
And I've been in that situation where I've played centre-back and it's just relentless.
Yeah.
And then you see someone trotting about and not putting the work in. I've been on the other side as well, but
of course
you see with the not, you know, it's like you're working your bollocks off and it just keeps.
And Roy Keane grabbing like Gary Neville or Phil Neville and shit and pointing and having a go at them on, because players aren't divvies. They're watching, they're playing in the game. They can see who's running around and who isn't. And for Ashley Williams to be so vocal.
Yeah.
At Lukaku, I seen it in one of the games the other week. He done the same. Ron wasn't running and he was pointing, going, you've got to move, you can't just stand around waiting for the ball to come to you. So Lukaku's got to do that. But the other side to it as well is that, and this is the manager's got to take some responsibility here, Lukaku's played he never gets subbed, does he? He plays every minute of every game, like, and that's great, but he's tired.
Yeah, it's going to catch up.
It's going to catch up, so his frustration will bubble over because he can't do what he wants. He probably doesn't feel as good as what he does on other days when he's had a rest. Take him off. He shouldn't be above a sub.
No, but I think you have some centre forwards who love it, don't they? I mean, you look at someone like Costa. He loves that kind of game. I think where, see, it's like it's the other way around, isn't it? Where like you can have all strikers. I think I've got like this. They're all selfish. They'll have a selfish streak, but it's how it comes across, because you have someone like Costa and he loves, and Drogba was the same, they love the battle because it's still all about them. And when they walk off the pitch, even if they haven't scored, they know, and they will still get the plaudits. God, what a magnificent performance he had. He battled on his own and he was dogged and he ended up setting up a goal for someone else. And normally it comes, I mean, everyone's like Drogba, you look at Drogba and you think, how many games did he drag Chelsea through? And Costa's done the same, where he's battled and he's worked and he's been snide and he's still got the rewards, even if he didn't get the goal. People are still talking about them. They take that. They don't need that. They don't need that goal next to their name at the end of the goal. They take that as much as a goal, because they know whether they're being selfish or not, their performance has affected and won them the game. But unfortunately, Lukaku is a striker. And you get all kinds. You look at someone like Ronaldo, who look, when someone else scores and he would have had the tap, and he looks like he's got a cob on. But that's just in part of the game. You get all sides of it. You just I don't know whether we just wish Rom just had a little bit about him. Because if he did have that little bit about him, where he did enjoy doing that, he'd be so much better player. Much better player. I'll
be honest with you, he'd probably be at a top elite club where he wants to be, because I think that's what's missing from his game. I think people will look at it and go, okay, if he doesn't score, what does he do? Because there's too many games where the spotlight's on him and he's not scoring, he's not affecting the play. And yet he's been fantastic for us, and he is fantastic for us, and I hope he stays. I want him to sign a new contract, because I've said this all along while he's been here, I'll be so frustrated if he goes and we haven't put better players next to him and given him a good centre forward to play.
And that goes back to something we were saying before. Maybe that frustration came from Morales going off, and suddenly him thinking, I don't want to be running around here on my own. I want someone to get the.
I don't think he's entitled to an opinion. He's a big part of our team.
I think it was a bit of a dick move the way he was
all of that
doing
crap.
that.
He should have just shouted something back. No, he could have gone, I am. He could have just gestured back and gone, I am. What were you on about? I'm running. All of this, and then bitching with Pogba at the end, embarrassing. He embarrassed himself there. I'm sorry, but, you know, I don't know whether he's trying to be Billy Big Balls because he's at Old Trafford. I don't know. I don't know whether that was for the camera. I'm not sure what he was thinking at, and I'm quite sure when he sees it back, he'll be embarrassed himself. Yeah. I think he will, because he's an intelligent man. He knows. But in that moment, I think Ashley Williams had every right to back him out a little bit, because you've got to. I want to see that from me players. I don't want anyone on that pitch having a free ride. Yeah. And just because he's Romelu Lukaku who scores goals, why should he get a free ride? He shouldn't do. Yeah. Ross Barkley shouldn't get a free ride. You know, Tom Davies shouldn't get a free ride. Leighton Baines shouldn't get a free ride. If they all put the effort in, Everton will win more games than they lose. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I've got no problem with seeing players going at it on the pitch. I don't mind seeing players annoyed when they come off.
The only thing is, where's that Ashley Williams been for the last few months? You know, I think he's been a good signing for us, but that's what I want.
Defensively or leadership?
Both, mate. I think leadership-wise, I want to see that every week.
Maybe he doesn't need to do that every week, though. No, well, maybe he doesn't need to do that. Maybe it's like with the manager, where people were having to go with the manager at the weekend for saying he had pride for the team, and saying, oh, it's just like Martinez. Well, it's not like Martinez, because Martinez said it every week, rain or shine. It's not effective either way. If you're a bully boy every week, whether you be a manager or a player, it wears off. People just look at you and go, it's not. I've heard it all before, mate. But if you vary it up a little bit, if you actually mean it, what you say, and it's not all for the cameras, then when you know, players will understand if you know whatever they're saying. I suppose it's the same with Ashley Williams. If you're a player that every week you're calling everyone this, that, and the other, they're going to turn around and say, well, number one, how are you playing for a start?
Yeah.
And number two, to be like, how is he at it again, is he? Just ignore him.
Yeah, say you're Ashley Williams, just for argument's sake, right? And I'm Lukaku, because basically I scored one goal. But you hear me in the press, because the players are hearing this, and I'm talking about an elite club, and I'm the best there is around, which is what he said the other week. I'm the best player in the Premier League, the best striker. I'm up there, of course I am. I score all these goals, I'm this and that. And then so you're like, yeah, all right, fair enough, you're that. And you go out in a game and you're running everywhere, putting blocks in, and you look up, and for the second game on the run, you see me just strolling around the pitch. You're gonna go, hang on a sec, you're big noise. Do something.
Prove it.
Work hard. I don't care if you don't score. Occupy them. Make them know they're in a game. And I thought for 65 minutes he did do that. He was making them they were worried. When he stands Rocco up, Rocco's petrified. He turns, knocks it past him and leaves him. And you know, he has a shot and it gets blocked. That could have got hit the defender and looped over the keeper. And we'd be going, what a goal by Lukaku there. He stood him up and all that. He's got to do the dirty work. And people will mistake that and be like, oh, sell him then and get Strachwell. It's not about that. It's about putting pieces together within a game like this. Now, Romelu Lukaku will probably score a brace on Sunday, and I hope he gets 5 on Sunday. I hope he walks around, gets 5, and then pulls it up and goes, see, well, whatever. But I would love him to just mix it a bit. And if he puts it, there'll be some games he's got to just put the shift in, forget about what's going on, because there'll be the last 10-15 minutes of a game. Daniel Sturridge gets it for Liverpool. He's a similar thing. He's a finisher when his legs are working. He's a really good goal scorer. But he got pushed out to the Liverpool side because he's not prepared to run around and
not do the hard work.
There's a little bit of a mix. Rom, I would say, works harder than Sturridge. He's got to just show that a bit more. And I think that's probably all Williams was probably just frustrated because it was becoming relentless when it shouldn't have been there. Not a good enough side for it to be relentless pressure.
As I said, that's what annoys me more than anything. That they were there. They were there for the taking.
Oh God, they were there for 2 or 3. We could have easily come away 3-0 winners there, and it wouldn't have been an injustice because we hit them on the play. I think the point about Morales, Ron being a bit pissed off with that, I think it's probably spot on. That's because that was when I noticed all of a sudden the spring in his stride had gone. Apart from that one with
to be fair, and we've seen that before in Lukaku, where we've had teams almost where we wanted them, and we've made a negative change, and he has looked around and gone, what are we doing? I can't remember.
Do you think we're trying to check? Do you think there's a danger sometimes with us that because we're trying to get to where we want to get, we're just trying to manage a game out negative. We're trying to react to them rather than go, you know what?
No, I've said, listen, I've said all season.
But does that come with not having the players?
Well, it does, but I've said this about Koeman all season. I think far too many times Koeman picks his team based on what the other team are going to do. I think that's I can understand why he's done it at times, but I think there's other times where he should just let the team play. And I think last night was one of those occasions where he should have just let the team play. You know, if it, I can understand what I almost felt like last night that he knew Man United were going to score 1, but he just didn't want them to score 2.
Well, maybe.
And even back when he brought Pennington, it was almost like he was preempting that they were going to.
I mean, you know, we could be sat here. It could have hit Williams on the head and gone out.
Exactly.
And the whistle went, and we won 1-0, and we'd be going. He's brilliant. He's the first manager.
But I still thought bringing Pennington.
Yeah, it was just great.
And I thought.
To be honest, the Calvert-Lewin one.
Yeah,
he baffled me even more.
It baffled me because
Pennington baffled me because Morales shouldn't have gone off. That's the first.
I'm not having a go with a Calvert-Lewin by any means.
He's a good player,
but I've not seen enough of the kid to justify him coming on in the last 5-10 minutes of a game at Old Trafford.
I'd have understood. Would I have understood? I could see where he was coming from if he'd have put Lookman on there, because Lookman is more likely to run with the ball and dribble and stuff. Calvert-Lewin, I don't see that. I see him getting on the end of things, so it was a bit of. It was a bit mad.
I just thought at that point of the game, we needed a little bit of experience, more experience on the pitch, and we've seen Valencia came on.
Would you've put Calvert-Lewin on if he'd have had like a couple of more experienced players on that bench? Do you know what I mean? I don't think so.
No. Maybe you just trust Valencia at home and not away, or you know what I mean. I don't know. I just thought at that point we needed someone to hit the channels and be a little bit more cleverer than what Calvert-Lewin is. I don't. And I look at Calvert-Lewin and I think to myself, he's not the type of kid who knows how to win your fouls. He's very fresh. He's very green. He wants to run around a lot. He wants to impress his manager. He's not someone who's going to know, like you said before about Rooney going into the corners and all that kind of thing. He doesn't quite seem to have that yet. He wants to impress. He wants to do nice things. He's certainly not got any snide in him or anything like that. He just seems like
a nice lad.
Yeah, he just seems like a nice, good player. But I don't think the game needed that at that point. We needed someone who just was prepared. I mean, I know we've already said this. It's just frustrating because for me we've missed out.
Fifth.
We could have gone fifth. More than anything, you know, more than beating United at Old Trafford or whatever. We could have gone fifth. And you know, West Brom got beat, and we could have basically secured the European place last night.
But they've still got a couple of bad games, and that last night I was thinking they'd win at Watford, because I thought it'd be a tough game, but it's one I can see them winning. So we can't get beat.
But Man United have got a few tough games coming up as well. They've got a lot of tough games, and if we'd beaten them, I know, but if we'd beaten them last night and got above them, because even, you know, they've got games.
One thing we've got to be careful of, though, we can't be too hard. I don't think we can be too harsh. Two defeats. I'm
not being too hard.
No, I know I agree with you.
But what I'm saying is, I think last night I'd just like to have gone on and got the. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've just stepped up a little bit and gone and got the 3 points, because I think it was within the players to do that. It was just that.
Let's be honest, we were a good decision away from killing the game with players who were attacking, and that, to me, that's what it's come down to.
Yeah, right, let us know in the comments. Are you disappointed? Are you know, looking back at the substitutions, what you've done? I mean, a very, very young bench, you know, which is amazing, which is brilliant, fantastic to have all those young players. It's such a testament to what the club are doing and for the future. Let's hope it doesn't rob too many of them for that under-23s game on Monday night. But likely Pennington will play Sunday now, which will be interesting.
Vardy versus them two.
Yeah.
Sit on the edge of our box, will be alright.
If Vardy plays.
Why?
Because they've got Champions League next week.
Vardy's playing. Mind you, that win last night, the safe now.
10th in the league.
Had he gone to 10th? 10th. I just thought you meant whether he'd fancied a gig in Ibiza as a DJ. I don't know. Thought about throwing his career away to be a DJ. He's nuts, isn't he?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you thought. We're both generally disappointed. Let us know about what you thought.
You're more disappointed than me.
Yeah, because we should have won. That's why I'm disappointed. This is the attitude that you should have. This is the attitude.
I am disappointed, but what I'm saying is, to me, I'm looking at the bigger picture.
I'm looking at the bigger picture.
No, you're not.
Turning up at Old Trafford and beating them.
We did turn up, and we come within 30 seconds of beating them. No, but to me, it was a test of character yesterday, and I thought I thought we passed the test of character. Because on Saturday we just went
Test the character, don't get you 3 points, do they?
But it tells you the direction.
Unless you've got some kind of new rule coming out. Test the character, 3 points.
When the liver birds go blue.
Yeah, at least liver
we own the liver birds.
Yeah, we own the liver birds. Bird on my chest. Now belongs to Everton. So it's going to say on their crest. Copyright.
Birds on my chest. Not on our crest.
Yeah. Right. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.